Okay, we are going to try to make our game similar to this, and we are going to just use this as a reference, but we're going to start from scratch. Okay, this is what I built out for an example, and then let's just start a new project as we need to do right from the beginning. So let's go ahead and hit new project, and I'm not going to use the name dance game because I already have, so I'm just going to call this dance because it's the second one, so there's two dances. Dance. Okay, and we'll just keep it with the 3D core render pipeline. That's fine, and we'll just make sure I have mine saved into where you make sure you control where you save it. Okay, and then yeah, so I'm gonna hit create project now. Okay, and the first thing we're gonna do is get you the code, and I put a link in the Canvas assignment page, obviously, and when you open that link, it will, while this project's getting set up, I could maybe show you the code. Okay, this is what that link will open to you. I put this on my Google Drive, and you're gonna have all this code here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy it all now while Unity is opening up. I'm just gonna go ahead and you can just click anywhere and say Command A for all, and then copy, Command C for copy. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go back to Unity Hub, see what, click Dance, and then, oh, project is already open, got it. Okay, good, so let it do its thing, and there we go. So now let's, what are we gonna do with that code? Okay, we're gonna make a couple folders real quick, and after this thing does that, we have an assets folder over here. We're gonna make a scripts folder right away. Okay, and we'll make that first script. So in here, we're going to go ahead and hit right click and say create folder. Let's call it scripts. Okay, and let's open it up, and let's make our first, create a C# script. It might be, might say monoscript for you. You might have to, because different versions had this like pop-up window look different. So look through yours and look through these little tabs if you don't see C# script, and that's what we ultimately what you want to make. One of them might say monoscript, which will work. And we're going to call this Game Manager. It has to be this exact title because that's what I saved it as. And you could just hit Game Manager and hit return. It's got a capital G and a capital M. If I reveal it in the Finder, let's see what it does. This is, if you right click and say reveal in Finder, you'll notice that it for you puts a .es. That's a C# script tag there. And so let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so I'm going to double click it, and it should open up Visual Studio Code for you. And now remember, I copied all the code from the the link, right? So I'm going to delete all of this. I'm going to push Command V. Okay, and that is all the code that I wrote for you before, and we're just going to now save it. File save. Okay, and it will save right back into your Unity game. Oops, wrong button. Unity. Okay, and it's going to kind of compile, and now we have the script in there. That's great. Okay, so if you notice from my original game, I have a game object called scripts, and look what's on there. I have attached this Game Manager script to it. So we're going to do that. That's going to be the first thing we're going to do. Okay, so let's go here, Control, create an empty game object. We'll call it scripts. Okay, and then now you have two ways of doing this part. You could just drag this onto here, or you could hit Add Component and start typing Game Manager. It's right there. I'm going to push Command Z to undo that, and I could show you that you could also just drag onto there. Okay, and so now I have this script object, and if I coded it correctly, there shouldn't be any errors. If we have any errors, then I'm going to have to go to back to the drawing board and probably redo this. Okay? It's just showing you, at least these aren't red, it's just showing you that there's objects that are missing, so it's trying to execute code, but at least the game's not like, you know, just stopping because it's completely broken. So one by one, as we go through these tutorials, we will fill in all these parts. Okay, so let's just do one more bit before this video is over. Let's see. We have a canvas here, which has our score and our wrong thing here, and we have a character. I think maybe we should just add the stage. How about that? Let's just do that, and then we will save and move on. Okay, so what we need to do is, well, let me go back, and you'll see in the assets folder, what did I have in here? I had an arts folder, and I put all the images in there. Okay, so let's copy that same setup. So in assets, we are going to go ahead and right click, create a folder, and we are going to call this art. And you're going to need to get your PNG files into here. So I have already off screen made a folder with all my PNGs. I exported them all from Photoshop. And right here, I'll do just one for now. I'll drag the stage right into this folder. And there's the stage in there. And now we can drag the stage into our game, or rather I would do it this way. Actually, I'm going to select this and change the texture type. You select your little image in the art folder, and you're going to change this default to sprite and 2D. Okay, now, and then you hit apply. So now you can use it in this game for UI, user interface, or for 2D objects. And so let's do this. We're going to right click in the hierarchy, and we're going to create an empty, and I'm going to call this stage. And we need to be able to add the image to it. We're going to add a component called a sprite renderer. Sprite, I keep misspelling it. Sprite renderer, okay? And now we can drag our sprite into there. Okay, and there's our stage. Okay, and if I hit, you could play around with going 2D or not 2D, and it's 16:9 aspect ratio is pretty good. So we could just scale this up if we want. You could play around with like different 1.1, I'm sorry, 1.2, 1.2. You can go larger than that if it's not covering your full screen. You could use this tool here, and if you don't hold shift, it'll distort it. So if you hold shift, it'll stay to scale. Okay, you could play around with those settings. And I think that's probably good enough for the first tutorial of setting this up. Okay, so we've got scripts and we have stage. Make sure you save it, Command S, and I might even change the scene name at some point. And as we go further, we'll just be adding all the objects that this script is looking for, and we'll have a game. We'll put a character on here, we'll put the arrows in here, we'll make prefabs, and we'll just move along, okay? And you could change settings to your liking. Okay, so go ahead and have fun setting up your new project, and have fun.